Flat tires are a bummer. On street bikes with tubeless tires and wheels, a quick fix with a plug kit can get you back on the ride quickly. But what about when you're on a bike that takes tubes, like a dual sport or some adventure bikes? Today on MC Garage, we talk about changing a tube on the trail. As you can see, we're not in the MC Garage today. Instead, we're out on the trail with a flat. When you're riding dual sports, dirt bikes, and adventure bikes, there's a good chance you'll eventually end up in the same situation I'm in now. So I'm going to show you how to replace a tube without too much trouble. I've got some trailside tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years, and I'm going to throw those in here as well. First, let's talk about what you should have in your toolkit. You need all the hand tools needed to remove both the front and the rear wheel. Then you need tire irons and a wrench or socket to loosen the rim lock and tire valve nut. I prefer CO2 cartridges for airing up the tire, but a small hand pump also works great. The final tools you'll need are your boots, your knee braces, and of course, your hands. Job one is to get the flat tire off the ground. On bikes with center stands, that's easy. But for bikes with side stands, you need to find a makeshift stand. A log or a big rock works great. If all else fails, you can always lay the bike on its side, but that's gonna make it a pain to reinstall when you're done, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Once the wheel is removed, it's time to get the tube out. Loosen the rim lock and remove the nut on the valve stem. And then it's time to break the bead if it hasn't already done it itself when it went flat. Lay the wheel on its side and step on the tire as close to the rim as possible with your boots. The best place to do this is exactly opposite of the rim lock. Make sure you leave the wheel spacers in while you're doing this to keep as much dirt as possible out of the wheel bearings. Also, if you're doing the front wheel, do this with the brake disc up towards you. Same for the rear. The rear sprocket can take way more abuse than the rear disc, and the disc isn't going to chew up your hands as much like the pointy bits of the sprocket teeth when you slip with your hands. Now it's time to get to work with your tire irons. Once again, start opposite the rim lock and use 2 irons for the first bite. Use your knees. Now you see why I said you need your knee braces or pads to keep the tire bead in the bell of the rim. This makes it easier to get the smaller diameter of the bead over the large diameter of the rim. Work your way all around the wheel, bite by bite. I like to leave one tire iron folded underneath the brake disc to keep tension on the tire. After you get about halfway around, you can just pull the bead the rest of the way off with your hands. Pull out the tube and look it over. What caused it to go flat? Check for pinch marks or punctures. If it's a puncture, make sure you look inside the tire very carefully for the culprit. You may also need to clean out pebbles and dirt if the bead broke while you were riding. Once you're sure it's clean inside the tire, slide the new tube in. Always start the valve stem to locate the tube properly. Remove the valve core and add a little bit of air to get the tube inside the tire and away from the rim and the bead. Then go ahead and let that air out. Next, start the bead on the rim at the rim lock and at the valve stem. This will keep the tube from getting stuck between the rim and the tire. Push the tire on as far as you can around the wheel by hand, using your knees to assist. When it's time to use the tire irons, take small bites. And perhaps the most important tip of all of the ones I have, do not move the tire iron past 90 degrees in relationship to the rim. If you go past that, you can catch the tube and pinch it against the rim, and all this work we're doing is for nothing. Small bites and don't go past 90. Do this all the way around until it's hard to get the iron between the rim and the tire. Hit that last bit with your boot by stepping on it and applying pressure. It should just pop right on over. Place the valve stem nut and tighten it down to the rim. This will help you get the air pump on the stem easier as there's no air pressure holding it out right now. Then go ahead and put the valve core back in and air up the tire. Do it until the bead pops onto the rim. Then tighten down the rim lock. After that, you can set your tire pressure. Finally, loosen the stem nut and put on the cap. Jam the nut up against the cap. This will help ensure that you don't tear the stem out of the tube if the tire spins on the rim, although it shouldn't because you have the rim lock tight. But it's always better safe than sorry. Then put the wheel back on. Pump the brakes to make sure the pads are up against the rotor. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a surprise at that first turn or stop. That's it for this episode of MC Garage. If you like what we're doing, hit the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. And as always, if you have questions or comments, put them down below. We'll see you next time.